Hello there and welcome to the Double Zero Challenge channel. We do just one thing on this channel and it's to take these two dice and see how long it takes before we can roll a double zero. Now if you wish to play along, please write down your guess now. All I ask is that you don't share it in the comments, let other people watch the video and find out for themselves. We will explain the rest as we go along. There may be a lot of rolls, there may not be, but we best get underway. So, roll number one. And that's a 1 and a 4. Remember, we're only looking for double zero. We will be taking count of any other doubles, largely for fun, a little bit to track our progress. And that's an 8 and a 5. And we have a 5 and a 7. Oops. And that's a 0, but it's a 6. Remember, we're looking for double zeros here. And that's a 0, but a 6. And that's a 2 and a 7. A 0, but an 8. And that's a 1 and a 2. And we have a 9 and a 2. And that is a 6 and a 2. A 0, but a 2. And that's a 2 and a 6. And we have a 4 and a 7. And that's a double 5. So like I say, we're looking mainly for double zeros, but we'll also sling that on the doubles pile just to see how many we encounter as we go along. Remember, the hypothetical odds of rolling a double zero are 1 in 100, 0 and 9, but 1 in 100 theoretical odds means nothing under real world conditions. And that is a 9 and a 7. We have a 0 but a 9. And that is a 6 and a 9. A 0 but a 6. And that's a 3 and a 9. A 1 and a 9. And that's a 3 and a 6. We have a 0 but a 4. And that's a 4 and an 8. And a 2 and a 7. That's a 0 but a 7. A 3 and a 1. A 7 and a 4. And that's a 0 but a 7. And that's a 6 and a 7. A 6 and a 7 again. Oops. Oh, for goodness sake. And that's an 8 and a 2. A 1 and a 9. And that's a 5 and a 1. I double 3. So we put that on the doubles pile. And we carry on. And we have a 7 and a 6. And that's a 2 and a 1. And it's a 0 but a 7. and a 4 and a 9. A 0 but a 1, and that's a 7 and a 5. That is a 6 and a 5. And that's a double 2. Sling that on the pile. A 9 and 5. And that's a 7 and a 5. Now, in a few rolls' time, we're going to have a double hander. We do that every 50, where we really shake the dice. We really have a go at it yet, but a few more rolls to do first. And the next one is a 9 and a 6. 2 and a 7. 6 and a 1. 4 and a 5. And number 50. That is a 0, but it's a 4. So we carry on for roll number 100. That is a 9 and a 6. And that's a 3 and a 5. 0 but a 9. And we have a 1 and a 3. A 1 and a 4. And that's a 6 and a 3. Oops. Oh, come on. They're evading me today. And we have a 6 and a 9. Just double check it. I know there's a little line, but in the heat of the moment, sometimes my rotation just goes out the window. And that's a 0 but a 6. And we have a 0 but a 9. And we have a 7 and a 5. And that's a 5 and a 7. A 0 but a 9. A 0 but an 8. A 7 and a 6. And that's a 1 and a 7. And that is an 8 and a 6. And an 8 and a 3. A 3 and a 9. That is a 9 and a 5. And that is a 6 and a 2. We have a 5 and 6 there. And that's a 0 but a 3. We have a 6 and a 7. Once again, my rotation is just going. And that's a double 1. There we go. So that's 4 doubles. Would expect to see about 6 doubles by now, but then hypothetical odds mean nothing. That is a 3 and a 9. And that's a 0 but a 1. And we have a 4 but a 6. A double 2. That's our 5th double of the session. And that's a 2 and a 6. a 7 and a 6. And that's a 9 and a 2. A 9 and a 6. And that's a 3 and a 6. That is a 9 and a 4. And a 0 but a 2. A 6 and a 1. And a double 8. Put that on the doubles column. A 0 but a 9. And that's a 0 but a 1. A double 8, making our 7th double, but not the elusive double 0. We have a 0 but a 2. We have a 0 but a 4. And that's a 2 and a 5. A 2 and a 1. And a 3 and a 9. Just a few more until the double hander. 2 and a 4. And a double 0. Oh my days, that is unbelievably close to the hypothetical odds of 1 in 100. So we're looking at 95, 97. 97 there, and we encountered 7 doubles along the way, so slightly less than average on the doubles, but 97, how spot on is that? I'm quite happy to leave that here. Thank you very much for watching. You take care and roll on next time.